Good morning, you're watching Sabha TV. This is Breakfast News. I am Rajat Kane. Here are the top headlines of the day. Demonetization exercise completes 50 days. Prime Minister Narendra Modi likely to address nation on New Year's Eve. Prime Minister Modi defends demonetization against opposition's criticism. Says not only has it forced out all black money into open, but has instantly neutralized counterfeit notes as well. Cracks deepen in Samajwadi Party. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav defies party chief and father Mulayam Singh Yadav. Declares his own 235 candidates for upcoming UP Assembly elections. And United States expels 35 Russian diplomats as punishment for alleged interference into last month's presidential elections. Russia says it will take adequate reciprocal action. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is likely to address the nation on New Year's Eve. According to media reports, the address is expected at 7:30 in the evening. Although it's not immediately known what the speech will be about, there is speculation that it will be a stock-taking of demonetization announced on 8th November. The Prime Minister had announced the government's surprise decision to demonetize Rs 500 and Rs 1000 note in a stated aim to curb fake currency, black money generation and terror funding. The decision has deeply impacted the economy and normal lives of millions as it resulted in a continuing cash crunch. Post-demonetization, Prime Minister Modi has spoken extensively about the exercise. In an interview to India Today magazine, the Prime Minister dismissed all criticism while talking about the impact of demonetization on Indian economy. Modi said that all black money has been forced out into open, whether it belonged to corrupt politicians, bureaucrats, businessmen or professionals. He added counterfeit notes has been instantly neutralized. Responding to opposition's allegations on Dr. Manmohan Singh's remark that the note ban decision smacked of monumental mismanagement, the Prime Minister said the reference to organized loot was perhaps a reference to the unending string of scams under former Prime Minister's leadership. According to Prime Minister, the government tried its best to keep Parliament functioning. Modi said he was keen to speak in both the houses. He blamed what he called a concerted attempt by the Congress party to derail the functioning of both the houses. The Prime Minister added, if actions are undertaken with clarity and with the purest of motives, the results will be there for everyone to see. He added that whatever his critics may say, he sought no personal benefit from all this, only the greater good. The government on Thursday emphatically asserted that Prime Minister's demonetization exercise had borne results. Various ministers, including Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, said that a critical part of exercise to scrap the high-value notes was now over. Jaitley's remarks follow the Congress Party's announcement that it will launch a nationwide protest from January 6th on twin issues of note ban as well as charge of personal corruption against Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
We are extremely grateful to the people of India who have, in very large measure, supported this move. The remonetization has substantially advanced. And what is significant is that not a single incident of any form of unrest has been reported in the country.
Finance Minister Arun Jaitley thanking Indians for their patience in making demonetization a success. Jaitley said the gross direct tax collection was now growing at a rate of 14.4% over last year. This growth rate was only 8.3% in the previous year. As the deadline to deposit old notes ends, senior ministers of the Modi government are out in full force to further the government's agenda. Arun Jaitley's interaction with the media followed another high-profile press conference by Union Ministers Piyush Goyal and Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Amongst the currency which was in circulation on the 8th of November, a very large part has already been replaced and would continue to be replaced to the extent that the market requires that currency. more and more notes of rupees 500 are also being released into the market through the banking and the post office system. And therefore, we can now see a lot more currency coming into recirculation, which is enabling the banking system and the ATMs to further augment the supplies itself.
जिस प्रकार से देश भर ने समर्थन दिया है, उसका हम भाजपा की तरफ से भारत की जनता का धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे। डिमोनेटाइजेशन की जो सफलता है, ये सफलता सिर्फ सरकार की नहीं है, पूरे देश की सफलता है, पूरे देश की जनता की सफलता है।
The government also plans to roll out a campaign to reach out to the masses over the demonetization move. The union minister's media interactions came after the Congress announced that it will launch a nationwide protest from January 6th.
इस सारे मामले को लेकर नोटबंदी और प्रधानमंत्री जी के ऊपर जो भ्रष्टाचार के इल्जाम हैं, उनको लेकर एक देशव्यापी आंदोलन अब कांग्रेस पार्टी ने जनवरी माह में 3 चरणों में चलाने का निर्णय लिया है। और नोटबंदी से जो मुश्किलें उत्पन्न हुई हैं, उसको लेकर हमने कांग्रेस उपाध्यक्ष राहुल जी और कांग्रेस पार्टी ने 5 मांगे रखी हैं।
झूठे बेबुनियाद आरोप लगाना आज के कांग्रेस की फितरत बन गया है। बहुत बेचैनी है क्योंकि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार ने देश को ईमानदारी से आगे बढ़ाने की एक बहुत बड़ी मुहिम ली है। बहुत दर्द हो रहा है उन्हें क्योंकि नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सारी रैलियां ऐतिहासिक हो रही हैं।
The Congress and the BJP have been at loggerheads over demonetization since the announcement was made on November 8th. The government has defended its decision with numbers, even as it fights the Congress's allegations of corruption and misuse of power. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The ordinance on demonetized currency imposes a minimum fine of rupees 10,000 but doesn't propose a jail term for those holding more than 10 junk notes. The draft ordinance, which will be sent to President Mukherjee for his assent, will come into force from December 31st. It provides for making holding of old 1,500 rupee notes after March 31st a criminal offence that will attract a fine of rupees 10,000 or 5 times the cash held, whichever is higher. Those keeping the junk notes for study, research or numismatics purposes will be exempted from penalty provided they hold not more than 25 number of such notes irrespective of the denomination. The specific banknote cessation of liabilities ordinance 2016 states that people authorized by RBI or its agencies or those holding junk notes under direction of a court would also not be penalized. The deadline for the deposit of old currency in bank or post office account expires today, but there is time till March 31st to depositing them at select RBI counters with stiff conditions. The RBI says that banking sector faces significant level of stress as its assets quality is deteriorating constantly. This is mainly due to the fact that gross non-performing advances with banks have gone up to 9.1% in September from 7.8% in March. The Financial Stability Report of the RBI says this could make banks risk-averse in near future as they clean up their balance sheets. It also indicates that the capital position may remain insufficient to support higher credit growth. According to the report, while the share of total loans of large borrowers declined between March and September 2016, the share in non-performing advances increased. In such a scenario, if economic conditions deteriorate, the non-performing advances would also increase further. Now, cracks in Samajwadi Party deepened after Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav declared his own list of 235 candidates for the upcoming state elections yesterday night. In an open rebellion which could split the party, the candidates were declared hours after Chief Minister met with ministers and leaders who were denied tickets by party supremo and his father Mulayam Singh Yadav on Wednesday. Akhilesh had also met his father on Thursday and expressed his displeasure over the distribution of tickets.
Just months before the UP Assembly polls, the rift in the Samajwadi Party seems to be widening. A day after his choices were snubbed for the list of candidates, UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav conveyed his displeasure to the party supremo Mulayam Singh over the choice of names. In a meeting at Mulayam Singh's residence in Lucknow, Akhilesh raised the issue of the omission of names recommended by him, including that of his close confidants. Akhilesh's rival and uncle Shivpal Yadav was also present in the meeting.
लोग चाहते हैं जो सामंतवादी ताकतें हैं जो बीजेपी के लोग हैं कहीं न कहीं दूर से घुसे हुए हैं और इतना गुमराह कर दिया नेताजी कोई मानने तैयार नहीं तो इसलिए हम लोगों ने कहा और टिकट उन्हीं के काटे गए हैं जो लोग ये पारिवारिक जो झगड़ा चला उसमें जो मुख्यमंत्री जी के साथ थे उनके पूछ के टिकट काटे गए.
Earlier, the UP Chief Minister discussed the situation in a meeting with several ministers and party leaders, mostly those who were not given tickets. He had sent a list of candidates to his father a few days ago, but the list issued by Mulayam Singh on Wednesday did not include many candidates recommended by him. Mulayam also ruled out projecting him as the chief ministerial candidate.
हमारे यहाँ कभी नहीं किया जाता और पार्टियों में किया जाता है तो वे धाराशायी हो जाते हैं. हमारी पार्टी में पहले कोई नहीं किया जाता है और जब विधानमंडल दल की बैठक होती है तब तक हो जाता है. पहले भी हमने नहीं किया, हमने कभी नहीं किया. हाँ, हमारे नाम पर एक बार जनरल फैसला जरूर कर दिया.
The opposition has, however, called the family feud a drama which is being staged to hide the failures of the government.
मुलायम सिंह का जो युद्ध है चचा भतीजे और भाई ये सब मिलके उत्तर प्रदेश को तबाह कर देगा. इसलिए उत्तर प्रदेश के लोगों को इनसे सावधान और सचेत रहना चाहिए.
तो प्रदेश के लोग इन विफलताएं जो है अखिलेश की इनसे मुक्ति चाहते हैं और कोर मुद्दा जो मुख्य मुद्दा है वो ये है कि जो वादा खिलाफी अखिलेश यादव जी ने उत्तर प्रदेश की जनता के साथ की है तो अब वो टिकट किसको देते हैं किसको नहीं देते हैं ये उनके घर का मसला है. लेकिन उत्तर प्रदेश के चुनाव के जो मुद्दे हैं और जो उन्होंने आश्वासन दिए थे प्रदेश को उसमें पूरी तरह से.
The factional feud in the Samajwadi Party came in open again after Mulayam Singh Yadav declared candidates for 325 of the 403 assembly seats on Wednesday. Around 43 sitting MLAs, including 3 ministers, have not been given a ticket yet, giving a big blow to the supporters of the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu has been temporarily suspended by his party for alleged anti-party activities. The People's Party of Arunachal has also suspended Deputy Chief Minister Chaun Amin and 5 other party MLAs from the party's primary membership with immediate effect. In an order issued by the party president on Thursday, the PPA announced that Pema Khandu was no longer the leader of Legislative Party and cannot exercise any of the powers bestowed to him as the leader of Legislative Party. PPA has also warned that legislators not to attend any meeting called by Khandu, failing which disciplinary action would be taken. Legislature. The Madras High Court on Thursday expressed deep concern over late Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J Jayalalithas' demise and said the truth must come out. The court was hearing a PIL seeking a probe by an inquiry commission or a fact-finding committee into Jaya's death. However, the ruling party AIADMK has denied any mysteries surrounding her death.
Weeks after the demise of former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J Jayalalithas, the Madras High Court on Thursday raised doubts over the circumstances of her mysterious death. The court observed that the state government has failed to clear the doubts even after her death. It also asked several questions as to why Jayalalitha's body cannot be exhumed. The court was hearing a public interest litigation seeking the appointment of a judicial commission to probe into the death of the former AIADMK chief. The petition was filed by P.A. Joseph, an AIADMK worker. In response, the ruling AIADMK said that it had nothing to hide and everything is above board.
Here also there are some mysterious circumstances. There are contradictions in the statements and also the happenings happened on 4th and 5th. So all those things needs a judicial probe. For that purpose, taking a cue from the Calcutta High Court judgment, we have filed this.
There's nothing wrong in it. It's everything plain, everything clean. 3 days before, Honorable Central Minister Mr. Venkaiah for a Tamil channel, Tandi channel, he gave a clear statement. He was telling very clearly all the medical treatment was done properly. Every day I used to ask the Apollo Hospital. Every day I used to give the report to the Honorable Prime Minister.
The bench also issued notices to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, state and central governments for not revealing any information on her death. It has now posted the matter for further hearing on January 9th. Jayalalitha died on December 5th after over 2 months in Apollo Hospital. She was buried at the MGR Memorial on Marina Beach on December 6th. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for a short break. More on the other side.
Hello and welcome. I'm Amritanshu Rai and you're watching Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha TV.
Doing one good deed, and giving a baby to somebody who's infertile, I don't think can be anything better.
Only people who really need surrogacy will be coming forward.
I think again the larger interest has been kept in mind, which are these poor women who are being exploited.
Watch Law of the Land on Rajya Sabha television.
Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela, affectionately known as Madiba, was South Africa's first democratically elected president, an international peacemaker and statesman, and a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Through a long career as an activist, Mandela was a crusader for equal rights for South Africa's black majority. Having undergone frequent imprisonment, in 1964, Mandela was sentenced to life in jail. Charged with sabotage, treason, and violent conspiracy, he narrowly escaped the gallows. He was released in 1990, having initiated talks with South African President de Klerk towards ending apartheid in the country. Mandela was awarded the Nobel Prize for Peace in 1993 for his efforts. In April 1994, the Mandela-led African National Congress won South Africa's first elections by universal suffrage. And Mandela was sworn in as president of the country's first multi-ethnic government. He retired from the presidency in 1999 and from public life in 2004. Nelson Mandela died on December 5, 2013 from a recurring lung infection.
Welcome back. The 3-day Indian History Congress will conclude in Thiruvananthapuram today. The event was inaugurated by President Pranab Mukherjee yesterday, where he expressed concerns over historians who tend to distort history. He also advised writers to maintain authenticity of facts.
On Thursday, President Pranab Mukherjee inaugurated the 77th Indian History Congress at Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala. During his speech, he stressed on the importance history has in managing the diversity of a country like India. He also pressed upon writing history in a scientific manner.
And clinical appreciation of the facts and matters which are available at their command, to point out their strength, because it is not merely for theoretical and academic knowledge and pursuit of knowledge for knowledge's sake, but it is essential for strengthening our concept of Indian nationhood.
The President also expressed concerns over historians who tend to distort history, advising writers to maintain the authenticity of facts.
It is natural to love one's country, see as much glory to its past as one can detect, but patriotism should not result in blinkered approaches to interpreting history or compromise with truth in order to justify and argument of choice.
The President addressed a gathering of over 3,000 historians and research scholars, along with Governor P. Sadavshivam, Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan and other dignitaries. On Wednesday, historian and professor of Aligarh Muslim University, Shireen Moosvi, was appointed as the new director of the Indian History Congress. Deepak Dobhal's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
The Madhya Pradesh police today arrested 7 human rights activists for allegedly exchanging rupees worth 10 lakh rupee in old defunct notes with new notes on behalf of the Maoists. The police accused human rights activists Shalini Gera and her friends of exchanging demonetized notes for new ones after taking 30% commission. The police alleged they were part of Jagdal Parade group and claimed they had instigated villagers against police and state government in Bastar district. Gera and her team, however, have denied the charges.
30% कमीशन में नए नोट 2000 रुपये के साथ में उसको एक्सचेंज किए और एक्सचेंज करने के बाद में पुराना नोट लेके लोग चले गए और उसी दिन रात को शालिनी गेरा और उसके साथी लोग ये लोग वापस रायपुर बिलासपुर की ओर बस में गए हैं। हमारे पास शिकायत मिल गया है और हमने शिकायत का जांच शुरू भी कर दिया है।
A look at what's scheduled to take place in the day ahead. Prime Minister Modi will inaugurate Digdan Mela in Dalkatora Stadium today. With the demonetization drive coming to a close, the government is gearing up to address the nation on the outcome and the way forward. He is expected to give a sense of how the digitization and cashless payment being promoted. Singapore Deputy Prime Minister Tharman Shanmugaratnam will hold talks with Finance Minister Arun Jaitley in New Delhi to take bilateral economic ties to next level by modifying the bilateral double taxation avoidance agreement. The agreement will modify the capital gains exemption. The National Stock Exchange will introduce new interest rate future contracts from today on 6-year government bonds maturing in 2022. The IRF contract is based on 6.8% central government security maturing in 2022. The interest rate future contract is an agreement to buy or sell a debt instrument at a predetermined price. The United States expelled 35 Russian diplomats as punishment for alleged interference into last month's presidential elections. They've been given a 72 hours notice to leave the country. It will also close 2 compounds used for Russian intelligence gathering. US President Barack Obama had pledged to take action against Russia amid US accusation that it directed hacks against Democratic Party Hillary Clinton's campaign. The move follows calls from senior US senators to sanction Russian officials who are believed to have played a role in the hacking, which some lawmakers refer to as America's political Pearl Harbor. Meanwhile, Russia has pledged adequate reprisals over US sanctions and accused Washington of trying to destroy ties by making unfounded allegations of interference in US elections. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said United States want to definitely destroy US-Russia relations, which have already reached a low. He also added that Russia will react in adequate manner based on the principles of reciprocity. A nationwide ceasefire between Syrian government forces and rebel groups has come into effect. The truce brokered by Russia and Turkey, which will act as guarantors, began at midnight. The deal includes many rebel groups, but not jihadist. That includes Islamic State or the Kurdish YPG. The ceasefire appeared to be holding in most areas since early Wednesday. If it continues, peace talks are due to be held in Kazakhstan within a month. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based group monitoring conflict, said most of the country was calm in the first few hours of the truce. However, it reported a clash between rebels and government forces in Hama province.
لأنه كان شريكنا في مكافحة الإرهاب. وهذا الضامن أكد لنا أن كل خرق سيواجه. والفصائل التي لم توقع على هذا الاتفاق هي فصائل إرهابية. ثالثا ستكون هناك آلية للرقابة.
The Indian Olympic Association says it will not reply to the Sports Ministry's show cause notice on the elevation of Suresh Kalmadi and Abhay Singh Chautala as life presidents. The association claimed it enjoyed autonomy and independence from government interference. It also added that after having consultation with the International Olympic Committee, the agency will take any steps. The elevation of Kalmadi and Chautala has kicked up a storm and stunned Indian sports fraternity. Under intense pressure from various quarters, Abhay Singh Chautala has offered to relinquish the life presidency but said he will take steps only if the International Olympic Committee has reservations about his elevation to position. Kalmadi has chose to step aside. Yeah. That's it for now. More on Rajya.